What's up, everybody? My name's Jance, and today we're going to be taking a look at two decks, actually. Two of my favorite decks from Theros Beyond Death. Since we are, as of tomorrow, we'll be starting work on Ikoria stuff. Tomorrow we'll be doing a live stream. It'll probably be around midday for Ikoria Brewing, and we'll be going for a couple hours where I just try to get as many decks up and going for the live stream event that'll be on Wednesday. So tomorrow we're doing Ikoria Brewing. If you're interested in brewing up some Ikoria decks, or you have a deck that you're interested in seeing me play during Wednesday, during the pre-release event, by all means hop in there tomorrow, send me the deck list, send me a link to a deck list, something along those lines, to where I can actually export it and take a look and all that good stuff. Now, as for today, we're playing decks that, like I said, were my favorite from Theros Beyond Death. Now, this doesn't mean that they're the most efficient versions of this deck. Actually, if I would like to say so myself, they're very, very greedy, but, you know, y'all know me. I love playing fun, big decks. I love that didn't come out right. I love seeing the big plays, right? I'm not here for the great, awesome #1 mythic. I'm here for the great, awesome #1 plays in every game. You know, who cares about being mythic right now? We're about to be into a new set, so we're casting light back on these old decks that some people may have missed out on, some people may not. But again, these are going to be my favorite decks from Theros Beyond Death. Now, before we go and hop into these deck tech or deck breakdowns, which are going to be a little bit shortened since a lot of people should know these decks, but for those of you who don't, I'd like to still shed light on them. I would like to remind everybody, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, and of course subscribe if you're new here, and hit that bell notification or the bell icon to the right of the subscribe button, and it'll give you notifications of whenever I go live or post videos or post about, you know, going live or posting videos, any of that good stuff. So on into what we are actually playing here today. We have a Selesnya Enchantment deck, which I've coyly named Make Selesnya Great Again, because for those of you that have been playing the game for a while, you'll know that Selesnya, well, it was fun in Guilds of Ravnica. You know, you had the Tristani Discordant and March of the Multitudes, cards of that nature, which I personally very enjoyed. And that was during the days of Sapperling Migrations and other token centered combinations, right? But since those days, Selesnya kind of fell off. It kind of stopped being used for a while. I know there was a Vivian's Arkbow deck there for a while with Tolsimir way back, but it didn't really get the love and the attention that I wish it had. But come around Theros set, we got these fantastic cards like Selesnya Champion and Hydra's Growth, right? Transcendent Envoy, these really, really nice enchantment cards that work so well in the Selesnya colors. So the base for this deck, the base idea for this deck, if you're going to be playing and you don't know it, is Selesnya Champion. Now, I'm not saying go spend your wild cards in this card, especially since we have a new set and it's right here upon us. But if you have this card and you're like, oh, I haven't actually ever really played with that card, here's the deck for you to test out, or a version. Now, again, this is very greedy, and there's actually a card right here, Karametra's Blessing, that I didn't put in the deck, but definitely deserves its spot in the deck. It reads, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's an enchanted creature or an enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible, so basically unkillable, right? All this for 1 mana as well. And since you're playing a whole deck based on enchantment creatures and enchanted creatures, then it sort of just nestles itself right nice. But I was building the deck and I was in a hurry this morning because I was like, yeah, I think I want to do an ode to my favorites, and I sort of forgot it a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, we have fantastic things like Siona, which allows you to still sort of go wide and have that old feeling of Selesnya, right, of creating the tokens and more tokens every time you do something, blah, blah, blah. So you have that. There's also the Archon of Sun's Grace, another great card that we had no room for. Well, we could have made room for it, but again, this is the thing about this Selesnya deck, is there's so many good cards now for Selesnya that it's actually really, really nice. And that was one of the things that I wanted to highlight is, hey, we have something to play again, right? So Archon of Sun's Grace, another great card that you can add in here if you have it. Now, I didn't want to overstack this deck with too many mythic rares and all that, since this is sort of geared towards those, I won't say newer players, but the players that may have missed these decks. And if you've missed these decks, then you probably don't keep up too much with the meta scene and all that. So, you know, again, I don't want to make it too expensive for anybody, but if you have the card Archon of Sun's Grace, fantastic. It's not an enchantment creature, but it does work well off of all these enchantments. Same thing, if you don't have Calyx, you know, but you do have Archon, take out the Calyx, throw in the Archon. This is just meant to be a highlight deck, right? So all that being said and out of the way, that's pretty much it for this deck tech or deck breakdown. It is very, very fairly simple. I have another video I know for sure on Selesnya Enchantments, so if you want more in-depth talk about it, by all means go back and watch those, or you can watch the matches coming up. But yeah, this was by far one of my favorite things to see out of Theros. Seeing Selesnya return to its former glory, well, maybe even higher than its former glory if we're being realistic. It felt really good, and it made me really, really happy to play it. So now on into the other deck, we have Thassa's Bouncy Bounce. More childishly named for sure. But this one's all about Thassa. I know we get tired of like, oh, you really gonna play Agent of Treachery in Thassa? Yeah. But in all reality, it is a fun ass combo. You know, we can sit here and say it's annoying all day. Yes, it's annoying to happen to you, but hey, that's half of Magic, right? There are cards that say destroy all your opponent's non-land permanents in Magic, and I'm not going to get into that whole debate on whether or not that card's good or bad or whatever it is. But, you know, half of Magic is taking away the fun of someone else's fun. That's just how it is. This is one of those decks that came out, and I was like, man, you know, more like morally, I feel terrible for playing this. I feel terrible for the idea of I might be up against a new player and I'm showing them how oppressive, am I saying that right? Anyways, how just like controlling Magic can be whenever you play an Agent of Treachery and then you Thassa's Bounce it, and then you Thassa's Bounce it, and then you Thassa's, you know, y'all get the point. But at the same time, this was one of my favorite things to come out of Theros was the Thassa Bounce combo. I love Thassa. I love being able to replay my Enter the Battlefield effects. Are you kidding me? When all the Explorer creatures were out, that was one of my favorite styles of decks, right? Bolas's Citadel, the ability to just play things off the rip and have that Enter the Battlefield dominance coming down from the Explorer creatures, that was by far one of my favorite decks that I've played so far in Magic. The Exploring Citadel decks, those were crazy because you could rip half your deck right in one turn and not feel like, you know, you're gonna kill yourself. Those were great, and the Thassa Bounce sort of gives me that good old feeling of like, you know, playing two things in one turn, even if you're not. You know, even if you're not playing two things, even if you're not playing anything in that turn and you're just rebouncing a creature, it still feels something fantastic to me personally. So again, I'm playing a very, very greedy version of the Thassa Bounce deck, and there are so many Thassa Bounce decks. There's Bont, there's Sultai, there's Simic, there's Mono Blue Devotion, there's a ton, right? But this is the one I personally chose to go with. I love the Agent of Treachery. You can't convince me that I'm not allowed to play it. It's just fantastic. Hydroid Crisis is fantastic. Kuro Best of Seaguard, not exactly belonging in the deck, but I feel it's very, very hard for me not to add this card in, given how much I just love this card. Everything behind this card, everything about it, love it. The fact that it's a Saga enchantment, 7 mana, it's a bit expensive, but honestly, for everything you're getting, feels about right? So yeah, just absolutely love this card. And again, this is meant to be throwing back some light on some old decks that I found were the most fun from Theros. And obviously, this deck features a little fewer cards from Theros, but we are still, you know, Thassa's Oracle, Illyrios. This card, I really love this card, and I feel like it didn't get enough play, personally, for how fun it is. Not saying it's necessarily competitive, but for how fun it is, I think it should have been out there more. Risen Reef, great card. Ordero, great card. Thassa. So y'all get the idea of this deck, right? It's ramping up. You're stealing your opponent's stuff. You're using the Thassa Bounce on every turn, pretty much, on every creature, pretty much, to get something back out of it. So. And yeah, that's going to do it for our deck techs or deck breakdowns. Now let's hop into these old or whatever you want to call them, classics of Theros, right? My favorite Theros decks, or whatever. Anyways, on to the matches. Silverlight. Kind of cool name, I suppose. Speaking of lights, I need to set up the office. Keep meaning to do that, but I also keep having tons of stuff to do. Sure, why not? If I can get an Alslid Alcide, if I can get a Life's Bounty with a Hydra's Growth on it, I'll be pretty happy. Throw a Sentinel Zaz on there, be good to go. I am going to go ahead and throw Sentinel Zaz on there, actually, so we can get that extra little bit of damage, have a defender up. Now, our opponent seems to be playing Simic. A Simic deck of sorts. Could be Bont, could be Teamer. Who knows? Who knows? Are we going to try for the Hydra's Growth? Well, of course we are. Of course we are. If they want to bounce, if they want to counter, I guess that's all on them. Nope. They're just going to play a Wildborn Preserver. Alright, well, our Life's Bounty can still get in for a good sweet 3 free damage. So yeah, going back and revisiting some of these old decks that I really enjoy. They're not even that old, just, you know, from this set. Really enjoy it. Alright, so I can get Heliod and just really start ramping, or I can get down a Calyx. I like the idea of the Heliod better. So we just keep on. Oh, Silverlight, they've seen enough. Alrighty, well, there it is. Selesnya Enchantments. Syndas MTG. Gonna be our next foe for the day. 2 Heliods, Setessan, and a Banishing Light. I would love to, but 2 Heliods is too many. Now you're about to make me choose whether I have like a busted card or some removal. I'd rather have, well, I guess we could always just put the Daxos back, right? Oh, this is fine. I don't feel like I should bottom the removal, but I'm also not going to bottom the Hydra's Growth, so those two are out. Transcendent, you know, we're trying to have fun today. This is like reliving those old memories that you just really enjoyed, you know? So, we are going to be bottoming that Destiny Spinner. Yes, I see they're playing Dimir. Yes, they could be playing, you know, some form of counter. Some form of counter magic. That's okay, though. If they are, let it be so. Fable Passage on turn 3. Happy to see that. They probably will swing in with their Night Veil Sprite here, as it doesn't have any consequence to them. And the question is, do we go for the Hydra's Growth on the Transcendent Envoy already? I think the answer is yes. I think. We, of course, could always just Banishing Light their Enhanced Surveillance, but I don't know. Is this going to be an Agent of Treachery deck? I feel like this may be Agent of Treachery. We'll see. We shall see. Now, I can go Temple Plenty and get down Hydra's Growth. Go Temple Garden and also still get it. Yeah. Let's go for the Hydra's Growth. Let's go for the spicy plays. Setessan Training. I'm actually going to bottom that. I'm looking for the champion, the one, the only. Or a Life's Bounty so we can protect our Transcendent Envoy, right? That is another great one. Karametra's Blessing, a card that I actually don't have in the deck. Another great card. Why I didn't add it, I don't really remember now that I'm thinking back on it. Maybe I just forgot it. But certainly one that should go in the deck. After this match, depending on how it goes, we'll throw it in there. But Karametra's Blessing, great card. Great 1-mana card to give your creatures indestructible. A little bit of extra boost. A little boosty boost. This is a Thassa, like, Agent of Treachery, Reanimate deck. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Alright. So we can go Calyx, and then we can exile something. But then Calyx will probably die to the Cloudkin. Or we go Calyx and look for something. Or we can go Banishing Light. A lot of options here. There's another Setessan Training. Tell you what, we're going to throw this down first and foremost. They don't have any mana to counter with anyway, so it's fine. It's A to the OK. We'll hit another land. Interesting, interesting. Well, tell you what, we're just going to Banishing Light. We're not going to Banishing Light that, because they'll just exile it. We'll Banishing Light the Night Veil Sprite, so we'll get rid of their Surveil altogether. And get in there, Transcendent Envoy, you beautiful creature, you, now that you have Trample. Can't even really be blocked that well, and they're still going to block you. Hey, fantastic for me. Fantastic. Now, they may have some sort of removal. Couldn't see much other reason why you would... Of course, if you have removal, you don't take that damage, right? You don't take 3 damage knowing that the other opponent's creature has trample. I guess we'll see. But definitely feeling a little bit scared. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Is it a self-mill deck? With surveillance? Is that what's going on here? It looks like it. Sir Conrad. Oh, it's a Sir Conrad the Grim surveillance combo. I see. I understand. I understand. Alright, so our Transcendent Envoy going up to a 6/6, and we're just hitting all the lands. I guess I should throw down a Castle Ardenville, since we're just going to be hitting these lands. Now, with Calyx, we can either go diving, or we can do the preferred method of, well... They would have to surveil a hell of a lot. Tell you what, let's go diving. Let's go diving off the deep end. We'll see what we hit. Transcendent or a Heliod. So we can either get down another Transcendent or a Heliod. I'll take the Heliod. That's good. Because then with Heliod, we can give lifelink to the Transcendent Envoy, and then we'll be gaining tons of life, right? Because the Transcendent's gaining 4 more counters next turn, so it's going to be up to a 10/10. Crazy, right? Little bitty birdie going all the way. Whisper Agent, alright. Well, thankfully, Whisper Agent comes down with Summoner Sickness just the same. So, we're doing okay. Our opponent's playing a weird, like, weird Guilds of Ravnica throwback deck with this Surveil. I've seen some Sir Conrad Surveil decks, but... Let's see. Another Hydra Scroll. Oh no, send us MTG. They've seen enough. They said, don't actually know how we're going to get rid of that big bird. So, yeah, picking up 2 matches with Selesnya Enchantments, and this is why I loved this deck so much, is because it actually made Selesnya playable again, right? Where it could actually dominate in some matches. Anyways, don't forget your Karamitch's Blessing with that deck for sure. Now we're going to move on to Thassa's Bouncy Bounce. Dr. Zenad Vago? Zenad Vago? I don't know. I honestly don't know. We don't get to go first, which is unfortunate. Everyone knows going first and best of one is the best. Best of one. But that's okay. We have an interesting hand here. I really love Illyrios. I feel like this card needs more love. So we try to give it there when we can. Of course, Thassa is nice to see. Gilded Goose, Oro. All fantastic cards, if you ask me personally. Opponents milling themselves down to 6, or mulliganing. Hell. Been playing this game for over a year now. You'd think I'd know the words for stuff, but that's alright. Scround 1 to the bottom. That's what you like to see in Magic. You like to see your opponent come up short. Now, obviously, we hope that we don't come up short, because it's a very real possibility, given we have a Castle of Ventress and a Fabled Passage, so we're sort of this weird tap land situation that we don't want to be at. Now, of course, we could sacrifice our food with the Gilded Goose and play the Growth Spiral. I guess that's an option. Not one I really want to take. And our opponent's playing Selesnya, at least so far. They could be playing Bont, of course. We'll see, though. Sorry for having to scoot back my ankle itches. They are playing Bont. Interesting. And we did not hit the land I was hoping we would hit. Let's go ahead and activate this. We'll get out an island. And the question is, do I want to just wait for next turn? We can get down Thassa. Or do I want to go for the Growth Spiral? I guess we'll wait. If they go to try to remove the goose in some way, then we can Growth Spiral still and get down the Castle of Ventress, right? But otherwise, I think we wait for the Thassa. Good old Thassa. Because even after we sack this food to get the Thassa down, Thassa then bounces the goose and gives us another food, right? So that'll be good. Then following that, I think we want the Illyrios just so we can protect our face a little bit. Oro. Our opponent's going Bont Ramp. Interesting. This is a top tier deck. I'm not saying they're playing all the top tier cards in it, but it is a top tier deck for sure. Bont Font ramp has been dominating standard ranked for a while. So we'll pass all the way through this. I'm surprised we didn't see a Teferi, honestly. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get down to Thassa. Good old Thassa. Doing your bouncy bounce. And we'll get the goose back and get that food back. Let me back up to 4 mana. Now, on our next turn, we have the option of playing Otoro or Illyrios or even... No. I guess we could play a Thassa's Oracle and a Growth Spiral. I was going to say, or even 2 Thassa's Oracle, but not exactly. Those are a bit restrictive. But yeah, we could play a Thassa's Oracle plus a Growth Spiral or Illyrios. Thassa's Oracle would come down and allow us to see the top 3 cards of our deck. I think I'd rather have the Illyrios though. Again, I just... card's so fun, so good. Oh, Hydroid Craces. Well, that might change our opinion a little bit, because that thing has, you know, has Trample. Ooh, Risen Reef. Well, scratch everything I just said. We're going for the Risen Reef, I think. Our opponent's ramping a little bit harder than us, a little bit faster. Another Thassa, not exactly what we want. Alright, Risen Reef, hit me something good this time, like a land. Hit me something good. The opponent's already a little bit ahead. There we go. Good boy. Girl. Thing. Good aquatic elemental monster thing. I don't know. I don't even know where your eyes are, bro. Alright, so we'll take that 4/4. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of a little tickle. That's all that is. Just a little tickle. How much mana does our opponent have? A lot. They're up to 7 mana. We're at 5. Good healthy 5. Oh, they're at 8 mana. That's okay. It's not about how much mana you have, it's about how you use it. To a degree. Hey, take your eyes off my Thassa. There's nothing to see there, okay? I don't want to have to play down another one. I do have it, but I don't want to play it. I have other plans for this next turn. We have 5 mana. That's stuff we can do stuff with, you know what I mean? There's a Karn the Great Creator. Interesting. Bum bum bum. What artifact do they get? Dr. Zenad. I guess it's Doctor versus Doctor. I kind of like that. We're also playing similar decks. I won't say exactly the same, obviously. Parhelion. No way, bro. No way. That's cool. It's very cool. Alright, so we're going to get out some... we may go ahead and get out some green mana here, just so we have it. So we're up to 6, which could be an Illyrios plus an Otoro. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so Otoro, come on down, buddy, friend, pal. Hey, quit drawing me Thassas. I don't know who gave y'all the memo, but we don't need her anymore. We have her. You know, two is fine. 2 is the limit. After that, come on. So we will bounce the Risen Reef instead of the Illyrios. Hey, some more lands. We'll enter that tapped. Lands, and more lands. Now in our next turn, we can actually hit the Thassa's Oracle and try to find something beautiful in our deck, right? We're still taking a little bit of damage from the Hydroid Craces. Again, not too worried about it though. Here comes the Parhelion. Thankfully it comes down with Summoner Sickness, so it's not just a matter of putting it out there, is it? Yeah. But it still can't attack, so it doesn't make any sense. You just put it there. Now, we are going to need to save some mana for Thassa to tap that Parhelion, because we can't have that attacking. That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage we can't exactly deal with. Bum 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 bum. We'll go ahead and grab some more blue mana here. We have plenty of green now. We'll get some blue. A little flippy floppy. Alright, so we need 4 mana in order to do the Thassa tap. So then we still have 2 to work with. Or we have 3 to work with, I'm sorry. So we'll go ahead and get down the Thassa's Oracle. And this will allow us to see 5? 5. Oh, and it'll also turn the Thassa online. That's what I like to see. Now what do we want on top? Probably a Risen Reef, right? So we can actually start doing this stuff. And then we just go next. No attacks. Because we can't afford it. Can't swing into that big old 8/8. And yeah, in turn. We'll bounce the Risen Reef once more. It'll draw us out that other Risen Reef, thankfully. Boop. We did have one mana left over, but that's okay. No big deal. No biggie. Now back to the opponent's turn. Alright, Parhelion's back over there. Now, of course, they can always tap the Hydroid Crisis and have it come back to the battlefield, or they can use Karn and have it come to the battlefield. So, resolve that. And then we can Thassa tap it. Tap, tap, tap. Bet you they're like, I didn't think about that. I should probably deal with Thassa. That's right, because Parhelion 2 is not getting a shot in so long as I can help it. Now, we are still in a bit of a tricky position, but we have Hydroid Crasi of our own to potentially get in there with. Not sure why they attacked in with their Arboreal Grazer, but I'll certainly take a free kill on the opponent's creature. Now they have nothing to defend their Karn with. We might actually be able to get in there and kill that Karn. Also, I do apologize about my phone going off. It appears it was nothing important, as per the usual. Alright, Teferi going to come down and bounce our Thassa, right? I think they're going to Teferi bounce our Thassa. I don't know, really. Let's see. What do you do, Doctor? Sounds weird calling someone else Doctor, but you know, it's the way it goes. So here it comes. Teferi bounce on the Thassa. Whoop. There, bounce. Just bouncy bounce. Alright, there it goes. And we'll get the Thassa back down, but we won't have the 4 mana in order to tap the Parhelion, so we're going to have to figure something out here. Gonna have to figure something out. Unless, of course, we draw into a land, in which case... yippee. Hey. Talk about getting lucky. So that'll keep the Parhelion 2 down and out, at least for another turn. Now we can swing in with some creatures to still kill that Teferi. And I still think that's the right move. So we'll go you, sacrifice. One of you gotta die, but that's okay. Because we gotta take out that Teferi today. Now obviously Karn's a problem as well, but considering they can just crew the Hydroid Crisis to get the Parhelion out, it's although I guess that is an extra added step. But we couldn't kill the Karn anyway, so this is fine. We'll take out the Teferi. The main boss, if you will, in Standard right now, right? 3 mana Teferi. He's cheap, he's effective. He makes it to where you can't play any of your instant speed spells. Dun, 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 dun. And we will end our turn on that note. We're bouncing the Risen Reef once more. I guess we could have also bounced the Illyrios to have a 3/2 defender. That's alright. We're getting up there in mana. That's good. That's good. We do still also have a mass manipulation, which if we hit it at this point, we'd be able to take just 2 things. Potentially 3 if we hit another land at some point. Another Teferi. No kidding. No kidding. Well, that's super unfortunate. Bum, 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 bum. I can't Thassa tap that. I can Thassa tap this. I think, yeah, guess that's what we got to do. Now they play their Karn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This could be it. This could be the end all. Of course, we did draw 3 Thassas, which is a bit much. I'm a bit Thassa'd out. If we'd have hit an Agent of Treachery, or Mass Manipulation, which we have plenty of in the deck, or Hydroid Crisis even, I feel like we'd have been in a much better position. But that's okay. This is what happens some games. So we're about to take the full brunt force of this Parhelion too. And unless we give up our Risen Reef, we're dead here, so we kind of have to. Alrighty. We can do this. We can still come back, surely, maybe. It's doubtful, isn't it? Tell you what we're gonna try and do. We're gonna try and mass manipulate and take that Parhelion. Of course, they'll still have the angels, huh? Whatever. I do enjoy their deck though. It's not the standard Bont ramp that you see. I like the fact that they got down Parhelion too. You know, even if they had more sensible options, I like the fact that they chose to go for Parhelion too. That brings some enjoyment into my life. Actually seeing that card being played and used, you know? It's a rare situation that happens. Oh, and they're also getting back Woodrow. Oh, what a game. But it does show you the fantastic stuff that's If it isn't just a day late and $1 short, well, Agent, nice of you to join the party, finally. We're going to call it GG, but before we end it, before we say game over, it's time for me to take that Parhelion too. It's time for me to partay. Ooh. Alrighty, now who has the Parhelion? Now, I know it has Summoner Sickness, and we still can't do anything with it, but I got it. It's mine. I claimed it. I claimeth thee in the name of chance. And of course, no attacks. Finish me. Seriously though, Doctor, I'm expecting a swift attack here. Make it quick. I don't wanna feel it. Come on, just do it, you monster. Quit playing with my feelings. Are they about to get another fucking Parhelion too? That's kind of what this is feeling like, yeah? Oh, looky there. Not one Parhelion 2, but 2 Parhelion 2s. 2 2/2s on the field. Well, they're 5/5s, but potentially 8/8s. You know, it's a complicated game, this Magic the Gathering. Alright, Doctor. Finish me. Do it. Be swift with it. And of course, we'll go no blocks. I'm trying to be the nice guy here, you know? You played well, trying to allow it to finish out. But I'm running out of material to talk about. Alright, there it is. The GG with the Bont ramp. Parhelion 2. 2 2/2s. Very surprised. Agent just couldn't come quick enough to the party. But still one of my favorite decks. Drago. Gonna be our next foe. And maybe we'll be able to pick out the victory here. This is very, very greedy. But you see Ikoria Best to See God, you kind of want to keep it, you know? And this is a greedy deck, okay? This is one of the greediest versions of this deck you could play. But I really want to play it. You know? Last day of Theros, pretty much. Tomorrow we're doing the brewing, right? The brewskis. So yeah, I don't know. I figured I'd go out with a bang for Theros, right? Go out with my last two decks that were my favorite. They were my babies. I really enjoyed playing them. I'm not gonna apologize for the greed that lay within them. These beasts can't be tamed, okay? No blocks. I feel like I'm just saying random shit at this point. Any hoosers, I know y'all won't judge me for that. Let's get down to Thassa, shall we? Thassa. And yeah, you know, get them, Goose. Get them. Let them know who the dominant player is. Go over there and flap your wings. That's what I imagine when the goose like goes to attack. It doesn't actually attack. It just goes over there and like flaps its wings in your opponent's face. And they're like, "What are you? Get out of here!" This is why we always shock your ass, stupid goose. Anyways, our opponent's playing some kind of weird like mono green devotion deck, and I gotta say I'm excited to see it. We played a mono green devotion deck way back in Theros. It was fun with Surfarian, and yeah, you do this fun stuff where you get a lot of damage going. Not gonna lie, it's hurting my face and my feelings both a little bit, just a little bit. What are we at? We're at 6 mana, and this costs 7. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want to shift off the ability of potentially having that. But at the same time, we need more defenders that I don't mind sacrificing out. So we'll get rid of a food token. We'll get down the Thassa's Oracle. She'll peer down for a Hydroid Crisis. Well, that's not bad. But the land gives us Cure Best Sea God. And come on. How could I say no to that? So, also we can just Risen Reef and get the land down, so we don't even have to like draw it next turn. You know, we just sort of get it onto the field. Now, as long as our goose, our little goose A, can live, and we can live, and get down that big old 8/8 Kraken creature token with hexproof. Fierce Witch Stalker. That is very fierce looking. It's a wolf. You would not be able to convince me that that thing was a wolf. Now, we are going to chum block with the Thassa's Oracle. It's unfortunate, but it's something that needs to happen. Alright, well, that's a Cure Best of Sea God. And you don't say no to those. So, there's our big old 8/8 Kraken. Let's get Crack-a-lackin'. And no attacks. We will bounce the Risen Reef once more. At a certain point, I feel like maybe bouncing the Goose to get some more food that could potentially, you know, keep us alive would be the option, the answer, the correct one. You know what I mean. But for now, we're going to keep playing greedy. Because I'm trying to prove a point here that this stuff is fantastic. Now, of course, they can swing in here with quite a bit of damage. Moss Viper come down for our opponent as well. I like it. It's like a weird mono green Stompy. It's a very weird mono green Stompy. Do they swing in? That's the question here. If so, who are we killing? No, they don't. Fantastic. Tap, tap, tap. Alright, so a lot of fun stuff to play here. First and foremost, though, we go for the Risen Reef. So we have double reefs. Oh, yeah, turn that Thassa online, baby. Oh, the lands. Then we go Healer of the Glade. Gain us a little bit of life so we're not so threatened by all these monsters. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. This is what I was looking for last game. Crazy. Alright, so there's our Thassa's Oracle. What do we want? What? I'll take a Mass Manipulation. We already have the agent, so, like, do we really need that third agent? You know. They don't untap, so we can crack them. We can get a crack-a-lackin' here. Get it? Crackin'-lackin'. Anyways. They're crackin'-lackin'. We're not crackin'-lackin'. We're crack-a-lackin'. Not crackin'-lackin'. It's very confusing. I understand. But we are going to bounce the Healer of the Glade. Gain us some more life, right? Get that Mass Manipulation into hand. Done, ski. Another Thassa's Oracle. Fantastic. Oh, I feel so much safer now that we're at 14 and they're at 5. It was scary when we were at 8 and they were at 20, but so much better now. Drago is just going to concede, and there is pretty much the reason why I love this deck here. The ability to like steal your opponent's stuff, play the big Kraken, bounce everything. It's just so fun, if you ask me personally. So, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this peer back into Theros at my two favorite decks from the set. And for those of you that may have missed them, you know, hey, here you go. Here's some decks to try out before Ikoria actually drops. For me, myself personally, tomorrow we will be doing a brew, an Ikoria brew day, where I'm trying to build up some decks for the actual event. Wednesday, everybody, mark your calendars, set your phone alarms, whatever you got to do to remind yourself, is the Ikoria pre-release streamer event, whatever you want to call it. So hats off, thanks, shout out, you know, whatever you want to call it, to Wizards of the Coast for giving me access to that once again. Fantastic, thank y'all a ton. And yeah, Wednesday we'll be doing that. I don't know if I'll be streaming as much as what I normally do, but we're still going to be streaming majority of the event, and I'll be getting up videos and doing all that. But I think I want to do, like, focus on me enjoying the event a little bit more. A lot of these events, I end up stressing myself so much because I'm like, oh, content. But I think I get plenty of content out of them, and so I might just try to sit back, explore the set a little bit for myself this time. But yeah, we are going to be streaming as soon as it goes live, which will be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard, and then all the other time zones. I'm not quite sure. It's, you know, somewhere in there. That is on Wednesday of this week, April 15th. So hope to see you all there at some point during the day. And yeah, that's going to do it for today. Peace.